Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here and showing you some of my records. It is also storming outside right now, so I don't think y'all can hear it, but it's definitely raining really hard outside. So it's a great night to sit here and talk about records and talk about music. So the first one I want to show you is kind of a unique one here. This here is the Electric Prunes. So this is their debut album from 1967, and a lot of people consider them to be a psychedelic rock, but also they're more like a psychedelic blues band. So I have a. Let me go ahead and bring this up. So I have this ready to go. I think this is going to work. Let's see, make sure I can do this. So we're going to do that. I think I may turn off the overlay too. So there we go. So this is a website that I found an actual interview with the lead singer from the Electric Prunes, where he's talking about how in his youth he was influenced a lot by blues artists, including Lightning Hopkins, Little Willie John, Muddy Waters, and even Les Paul and Mary Ford. So, he had that kind of sound growing up that really influenced his uh, writing of his music and the styles that they incorporated. They have a lot of blues riffs in their music, a lot of blues stylings. Haven't heard this in a while, so yesterday I pulled it out, I played it again. I definitely heard all those blues stylings in the music. So it's very good. If you like psychedelic music from the '60s, if you like blues music, this is a great pairing of the two styles in this band in this Electric Prunes. So unfortunately, I only have the one album, but I know they put out quite a few, and I've been meaning to pick up um, some more of the records, but I haven't yet. But let me go ahead and turn this off and get back to full screen. But yeah, so it's just a really great album by them. I'll show you the back. But I don't think there's any covers around here. Most of these are their original writings, I believe. But it's pretty good though. So that's the first one I wanted to go ahead and share with you. I'm going to lay this over here for now. So the next one over here is we have is John Lee Hooker. So this is from 1969. This is the Real Blues, and Johnny Hooker is and they call him more authentic blues, but a lot of people call him a boogie blues. But he's really great. I have about 5 or 6 of his albums. Um, we should show you the back here, but yeah, it's just really great stuff. Um, it's he takes that blues style and he adds just a little bit more. I guess it's more like a mid-tempo blues. I like people call it, where it's a little faster, but it's still blues, and it's really great stuff. So yeah, I really like him a lot. So there you go. There's another blues album for you there. If you have any questions or comments about blues, if you have any great blues albums that you want to share with me, just go ahead and hop it in the chat. So, but now I have about, I don't know here, maybe about 20 albums. I may not get to them all tonight. I had about 40 albums that I was thinking, I was finding in my collection. I was like, that's way too many. So I may have a second broadcast to go ahead and show more blue stuff. This one here is T-Bone Walker, and this here is a reissue. It's a reissue from a couple years ago, but originally issued in 1959. His son actually played guitar on some of the tracks, but this is Texas blues. It's really good stuff. Show you the back here real quick. But yeah, it's just great blues music. So if anybody out there likes Texas blues, I definitely recommend you go ahead and picking this one up and giving it a listen. But it's really great stuff. Put that one over here. Let me get my keys out of the way there. There we go. So So yeah, so I got into blues about maybe 10 years ago. Now, of course, I always liked blues music, but outside of like BB King, I couldn't tell you any of these artists. But you know what really changed was when I started listening to Sirius XM, because Sirius XM has a little window, and I was listening to the BB King station, and and they were showing all these names, all these artists, and I was paying attention. It came across a song that I really liked. I paid attention to who that artist was, and I went out and found albums by these guys. So I started building up my blues collection, and which led me down a rabbit hole. So, but anyways, I'm gonna move on to the next one here. So this one here is Fathers and Sons. This one here is from 1969. I think this is a 1969 pressing as well. So let me go ahead and bring it up closer to the screen here so you can look at it. It is a gatefold. So I'm going to go open it up here so you can take a look at the inside of this. So basically this is Muddy Waters, Otis Spann, Michael Bloomfield, Paul Butterfield, Donald Duck Dunn, Buddy Miles, and from what I understand, I also think Booker T and the MGs were some of the backing groups on this. But this has a bunch of different blues songs, and all different combinations of these artists got together and performed each song. So it's definitely a great album if you're into blues. It's mostly Chicago blues or electric blues style, but it's really great blues album. So there you go. There's that one. Let's see here. So we have another one here, which is Muddy and the Wolf. So got some conflicting. Let me see if we bring it up here so you can see it better. But you see at the bottom here, it says with Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, Paul Butterfield, and all these great names. It's more. It's another. It's like a compilation album. All these people again are singing together. So, but I got conflicting dates on the internet for this. In one place I saw they said it was released in 1974 originally, and in another place it said it was issued in 1982 originally. So I'm not really sure what's true or not, but there is a chess label that the let me see, get in the center of the screen. There you go. The chess label that the record came on, but it's just Muddy Waters is that Chicago electric blues style. So so that's mostly the style of blues that you're going to have on this album, but it's really great. I definitely recommend it. There you go. Let me go ahead and move on here. So this is another one here. This is mainly very similar, but this is mainly just Muddy Waters. It doesn't have any other artists. But this is Rolling Stone. This is like a greatest hits of him. Or like Muddy Waters a lot. Again, he's like Chicago blues, electric blues style. So let's see here. We got Dave, the pickup artist. Been getting into Bo Diddley lately. Yeah, I have some. I think I do have a Bo Diddley album. I'm not sure, but I do like him a lot. And his favorite is Black Gladiator. I'm not. I don't think I have that one. I have to go and check it out and pick it up and listen to that. But I appreciate that. Is he? Do you know what style he is? Is he electric blues or Delta blues or anything like that? Also, Chicago blues and California blues and Mississippi blues. There's just so many different styles of blues out there. It's like crazy. I went down a big rabbit hole, like I said, and about 10 years ago, and started getting into all this stuff and just learning all these terms. And I still don't have a good grasp of it. So, but anyways, yeah, this here is Muddy Waters as greatest hits. Yep. So we have Tarbert. Yep. Oh yeah. So so this is the greatest hits. And this came out in 1982, and this has a similar chess label on this record. So good stuff here. So next we're going to move on to, let me get this, let's see. Next we're going to move on to some Lonnie Brooks. Now this is starting getting a little bit more modern. This is from 1982 when this came out. He's Chicago Blues, which again, the Chicago Blues is more like electric blues style, more electric guitar, and just that kind of style of blues, but it's really good. You know, I do not have Electric Mud. I'll put up his question here. So yeah, I did get Electric Mud recently in a box of records that I got, really inexpensive, but the record was pretty much trashed. So I didn't play it, but I have a meaning to pick it up. So it's on my list to pick up. Maybe here in the next few weeks, I was thinking about that today, going through my records, realizing that I didn't have that album. But I do like Muddy Waters a lot. So and I do want to pick that one up. So yeah, definitely, Dave. I appreciate that. But this one here is Lonnie Brooks, and yeah, it's really good stuff. More modern sounding blues, but it's really good. So we got that one, and let's see. Oh yeah, a lot of people call Lonnie Brooks stuff urban blues as well. So let's see what we have here. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to have some James Booker here. Yep. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. So I got this one from Vinyl Me Please. So I have a few Vinyl Me Please in my collection. I did join their service briefly a couple times, but they're kind of expensive. So I really don't stick with them. Usually, back in the day, that they ran a couple sales, and so I had them for a few months. But I got this one from them, which is a James Booker. Now, usually James Booker, he has a patch over an eye, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up on the screen here what it says here on the back of this record, so you can read it along with me. So basically, it says here. These are the lost Paramount tapes. And basically, it says James Booker was one of America's most stunning piano players. He was born and he died in New Orleans. And in his 43 short years, created an approach to the piano that has not been matched before or since. In a rare alignment of some forces that could never possibly be replicated. This album features James Brooks leading a band comprised of New Orleans' greatest underground monster musicians, recording overnight in a studio after playing a gig in Los Angeles in 1973. As the story goes on, then after the recording session, what could probably and should go down in history as a great New Orleans album, Booker takes the masters and he disappears for a while, and then he shows up later in New Orleans minus the master tapes and minus an eye. But eventually, this master tape does resurface eventually. So that's where this comes from. So again, this is the Lost Paramount tapes, and it's early James Booker. It's really great stuff. So yeah, I've heard it a couple times. So awesome stuff. So let's go ahead. And yeah, he's like blues, R&B, and jazz is what he does. But he definitely melds all that together. But he's really great. So the next one I have here is another John Lee Hooker. This is Blue from 1965. This is a 180 gram reissue. I just want to go and show it to you. So this is Delta Blues style, so which is like Mississippi Blues, but it's a really great album. I like it a lot, so I wanted to go ahead and show that to you. And what else do we have here? We have Mighty Joe Young. So I picked this one up I didn't know much about it. I think it was last year. I was at Rock and Roll Heaven, which is in Orlando, which is a great record store, and I was digging in their blues bin, and they have quite a few blues, maybe like two whole bins just full of blues stuff. I was digging in there, and I came across this, and the cover art really, really. Let me see if I can't. I don't know if the glare is going to be, you know, but anyways, yeah, it's a pretty good looking cover, right? So it really took me. The cover did. Mighty J. Young, the name, it was very intriguing. So he is. See, it says here he's Electric Blues and Chicago Blues. So I think this is like his third or fourth album they put out, but it's really good stuff. And this one came out in 1976. So good stuff there. If you haven't checked out that blues album and you like Chicago blues, check it out. It's a really great, strong blues album from 1976. So let's see here. We're going to move on to a record that I picked up this afternoon. So I went over to, I live in Lakeland, and right down the road, there's Jesse Carl, who's a great secondhand record store. And that does have new stuff as well. But I was digging in their blues area, and I came across this. It's called Mess of Blues with Johnny Hodges and Wild Bill Davis. So, I read the back of it. It sounded pretty good, so I picked it up. It's got a lot of organ now. I really like organ music. So especially, a lot of the 70s stuff like the Doors. And I know there's a couple other groups, I'm trying to think of them, that has this organ, a lot of organ music, and a lot of organs in their music. But this is, and a lot of organs in this. It's R&B, but it definitely has some blues as well. It's definitely blues. What's the word? Anyways, it's influenced by the blues, but it's more R&B. But it's really good. It's a really great album. I think this is from 1968. Originally, this is a stereo copy, so I think this is a reissue from the mid 70s. It's on the Verve. It's on the Verve label. So I'll show you the back of it if you can see that with the light washing it out. But there you go. Really great album there. Mess of Blues, Johnny Hodges, and Wild Bill Davis. So good stuff there. So we're going to go on to the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. So this is one I got introduced to. I just a blind buy. It wasn't this album. I think it was the next one I'm going to show you here. But this is a reissue. But this is their debut album, originally from 1965. But this one was reissued, I think, in 2021. But again, it's like a blues and blues rock. So it does have some rock in it, but it's like blues rock. So it's pretty good stuff if you're into that kind of genre. But I didn't want to show it to you because I do like them a lot. So show you that. And that was, again, their debut album. But the next one is, I think, their fourth album from 1968, which is In My Own Dream. So I got it's let me see if I can't center this. So the camera is, anyways. So yeah, this is interesting because with this one here, first of all, this is a gatefold. So I'll open it up and show you the inside so you can see that. So so I bought this one in a bargain bin. I think it was like $3, and I looked at the record. It was kind of questionable how good the record was. But it was on the original Electric label. It was on the brown label. The record's in the other room. But I brought it home and I played it, and it definitely. First of all, I love the music. The music was great, despite the condition of the vinyl. The vinyl was in VG minus. Even had a couple skips in it, so it was really a poor quality. The record, it had a lot of pops, a lot of crackles, it had skips in it. So even though, I listened through that and it was really good. So I went out to Discogs and wanted to get a better copy. Someone was actually selling a copy. I'm not sure if it was the same, the same pressing plant, but it had the same looking label and the same cover. But they said the cover had writing on it. It wasn't in great shape, but the vinyl was in excellent shape. Like great, because I have a pretty good cover with poor vinyl. So that came in the mail. The cover was pretty much shot up. It was splitting on the sides. The cover was. So the cover is over here in a pile, but I matched the record with this. And now I have an excellent record with a pretty good cover. So I like doing that. So, but anyways, this is a really great album by them. Again, it's more like blues rock, but they're a really great band. So we have that one. And again, that one came out in 1968. So let's see here. We're going to move on to some Black Stone Cherry. I like Black Stone Cherry a lot. They're more like a metal, kind of like hard rock band, but they put out some blues albums, and they cover a lot of blues songs. This one is Black to Blues. It's an EP. You can play it at 45 RPM. Let me see if I can get a close up of the label for you here. Black Stone Cherry. And it's I do that quite often. If I have a great cover and a bad vinyl, or a great vinyl and a bad cover, I will try to match that up. And sometimes you go to Discogs. I've actually had people at Discogs just selling covers or just selling the vinyl. And if you can manage to find what you need, that's really great. So anyway, this is Black Stone Cherry, Black to Blues. So have my notes here. So it's all covers. And he covers on this album Willie Dixon, Booker T. Jones, Muddy Waters, and Freddie King. So, but it's a really great album. If you like blues, very great. But again, this is a metal band, but they're covering some blues songs, but they do it very well. It's a great album. And I have their second album that they put out, which is Black to Blues 2. I actually got this one first. I got the Black to Blues 2 first, and then I ended up going back and getting the first one. But this is the same way. I'll show you here a picture, bring up the label so you can take a look at that. So but it's a really great album. This one here, they cover some different artists. And this one they cover Robert Johnson, Otis Rush, Howlin' Wolf, Elmore James, and also Freddie King. So, but they just cover a bunch of blues artists on these two albums, and it's very good if you like them. If you like them, check them out. So, but there you go. I'll show you the back of this one if you want to go ahead and see that. But there you are. So we're getting down here to a couple more. We have Bacon Fat, Grease for. I'm gonna do it on this side for this one. But Bacon Fat, Grease one for me. So this is an album from 1970. It's a California blues. It's really great stuff. This is a reissue I picked up recently, and because the original album is actually very scarce, it's very hard to find, and in any kind of good condition. It's rather expensive, but the reissue was something I can afford, so I picked it up as a reissue. But if you like blues, this here is a great album. I show you the back of it, and there was a hype sticker that came on this one. Bring it up here so you can take a look at that. But it's just a band. I don't think it's any covers. I think it's mostly their own stuff. So, but it's pretty good. I've heard it a couple times since I bought it. So there you are. And this came with a sheet on the inside talking about the band. I think the main guy for this one is Buddy Reed. So Buddy Reed is a blues guitar from the south side of Chicago. And he brings that type of, brings it into the band. He's also influenced by country. He was influenced by rock. He was even influenced, it says here, by disco, but this is 1970, so I'm not sure. At least I read this has come out in 1970. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. But anyways, but there you go. It's that. And I think we got one left to show you. and then we can go ahead and have anybody that has any questions or want to talk. But this is the last one. This is going to be one I picked up recently. This is going to be Sue Foley and Pinky's Blues. This came out in 2021. Now, she's originally from Canada, but she's been in Texas for the last few years, for quite a while, I believe. Her guitar, she named it Pinky, which is why the album is called Pinky's Blues. But she's a singer-songwriter, and it's great, great music. This album has both covers of songs as well as some original compositions by her, but it's Texas blues, and this one came on a pink vinyl. So yeah, it's really great stuff if you like Texas blues. So see here. So if I'm not sure if anybody else is left has any other questions, but I'm gonna go ahead here, go to the captions. I know we're down to one viewer here, so but I'm going to go ahead and try to do a second live broadcast with the blues albums that I didn't include this time around. I at least had this many, if not more. So, but that's it. I'm going to go ahead and, but I do want to thank everybody for watching. We're going to go ahead and put this on the screen for you, but I do appreciate you stopping by. And I'm going to go ahead and do this next Thursday. I'm not sure yet what that theme is going to be, but I'll put it up probably on Monday or Tuesday in a thumbnail. So, but that's it. I do want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time.